Alrighty, this recording is to help go through a few idiosyncrasies. The first thing I want to talk about is that if you go to officetradecoinclub.com, if you don't remember where the sign up page is, all you got to do is go to that link, officetradecoinclub.com, and all you would need is your sponsor's username. So what you would do is you'd come down here and just click on new account if you're just getting started. And up in here, you would type in your sponsor's name. So I'm going to type it in. And as you can see, it says the sponsor has been found. So that being said, I'm going to continue going through the sign-up process and the website and kind of going over some idiosyncrasies. So the first thing is that if you're not English, you can change it to Portuguese, English, or Spanish right now. And once you've selected your language of the choices that you have, you jump down here to the country. Now remember, this is a website that was built by someone that doesn't speak fluent English. It was built by someone and built in Portuguese. So if you want to figure out what your country is, let's just say you're in Sweden, I would suggest that you go to Google, and it's very simple. All you have to do is go to Google and you type in Sweden in Portuguese. All right, and there's the name. So you would come to here and select, I always double click and then I start hitting the letter S, because then that helps just scroll through them. In this case, it's going to be a little bit because it's SU, right? So there's obviously a lot of different, there it is, SUECA. That's the link. So right there and right there. So that's how you find your country sometimes. I mean, if you're in the United States, well, you would go to the E's and scroll, and you come down here to Estados Unidos de America, because that is what the United States is. So anyways, we're just going to say we're from Egypt or whatever. So typing your name in, I'm just going to type my name in so you can see what happens. So you type your name in, and as you'll notice down here, it created a username for me. Now, once you've created this username, you cannot change it. So you need to either delete it or accept it. If you've accepted it, you can't change it, period. So I prefer using, this is my login, but obviously it's already taken. So once I get down to save, it'll probably just say username taken. So just create something. I'm just going to keep it at A. Thomas for a second. Anyway, so let me just go back to this real quick because I think I just saw something. Nope. All right. So we're just going to go. It's telling me that it's too short. Anyway, so there we go. So then you type in your email. And you cannot copy and paste in a lot of these fields. If you find that you're struggling to get something accomplished and you're just copying and pasting, it doesn't recognize some of the pasted fields. So unless it's a hash or a Bitcoin wallet address, you can copy and paste those, but for like tokens, sometimes the computer won't recognize it as the number that you're trying to paste, but recognizes it as a picture. So you got to type it in manually. So you select your gender, you put in your birth date, and then you put in a password that you want to do, right? And then you're done. So the keys with passwords is you can't do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got to do something that isn't going to be like your name or something easy. So once that's done, you're going to click. Now here's the deal. Once you've logged in to your Gmail and confirmed your account and you've gone to log in, this box here pops up every time to remind you that you need to get your documents uploaded. And I know it's a little bit annoying, especially if you're logging in and out or coming back to your dashboard every time. But I'm sure some of this will change once we've launched on the 27th. So in this person's account, because I've gotten permission from them to go ahead and use this account as an example, so that way I can do some training here. You've got two boxes. One is your commission and one is your trade. Now your exchange is where your pile of money is that earns you Bitcoin every single day. Sunday through Thursday, so 5 days. So when you deposit, say 0.25 Bitcoin like this is, it reserves half of it so that if you withdraw before your trader days are ended, there is a early withdrawal penalty. So they have to be able to reserve it. However, you get credit on 100% of your money. Now, with commissions, you get commissions whenever somebody signs up in the binary as your personal, or your personals transfer trade into their exchange. There's an additional commission. Okay, so your trade is something that you will get no matter whether you are recruiting or not. So that is the beautiful part about TCC, is that you don't have to recruit to make money. However, I will tell you, it grows a little bit quicker when you recruit and you put people in. So there's a lot of different points of view as to when you should do that. So now, when you go into your profile, I'm not going to go into this person's profile because I don't want you to see some of their stuff. One of the important things you're going to want to do is have a picture up next to your face, which is when we click on dashboard here. I will go ahead and bring that back up so that way you can see what I'm talking about. But it gives you examples. This is not good because the ID is fuzzy. This isn't good because it's just the ID. This isn't good because the ID is covering half his face. This is the way they want it. Now, I suggest you put the card in between your pointer and thumb finger, with your pointer on the top part of the edge of the card and your thumb on the bottom edge of the card. Come closer with your camera so that we can read the address, because you're going to need to be able to have them blow up the picture and see the address. So if your address is not legible because it's fuzzy or blurry, you're going to need to take another one. I've had several people send me examples of what they were going to submit, and I've had to tell them, you're going to need to retake it because I can't read the address, and it has to match with the address that you put on file. So it is important that you go into your profile here, okay, and go ahead into your profile and fill out all that information, so that way you're not going to be stalled in getting your money out, because that's the reason to get that done. You really don't need to have all of it filled out until you're ready to pull money out. Now, here's where you will change a password. Tokens are an interesting feature. A token is a security thing. So like, I'm hacked into this person's account, so to speak, and if I want to change something, I have to ask for a token. Now, I don't have access to their email, so I can't go ahead and change anything without that token. Now, here's the idiosyncrasies of a token. One, you cannot paste them. You cannot copy and paste, otherwise it won't recognize it as a legitimate entry. Two, if you do type it in manually and say you don't get both of your passwords correct because you didn't make the new passwords correct, or whatever you're doing, the moment you hit save changes or enter, like for instance in the countersign, same thing, where down here you have to hit save changes, that token is now no longer valid. You have to request a second one, which is why every time you use a token, the moment you use it, my advice is to delete that email, because you can't ever use that token again. If you go out of the page that you are trying to fix or change something, you lose that value of that token even if you haven't used the token. So delete the email and request a new one. So every time you change screens or you incorrectly do something and it's asking for a token, you have to redo the token. All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about sending your money to your exchange. So here's a little idiosyncrasy. If your commission for the day, because you have only gotten in at the minimum, right, is 0.25, well, anytime your trade or your commissions are less than 1 Bitcoin, you have to start with a 0, then a point, and then let's just say it's 0.01990.836. That was, or 83. That's what the commission was today on one of our one of these people's amount. And so I brought it in here and I hit generate hash and generate hash. Well, what happens is that that's not enough. You are just 0.000000917 short of having 0.002. So you're going to have to wait till the next day to do your transfer. Now, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and bring this back here. I want to be able to show you something. So we're going to go ahead and hit generate hash, generate hash. And you can double click in the center of this if you're on a computer, right click and copy, or there's this copy hash feature where you can click it and up here it'll say that it was copied, right? Now, when you're transferring money, you're going to go to pay hash, especially if it's internally. The other thing is that if somebody else needs that money to start and you want to cash out without having to pay the 8% fee, you can go ahead and go to your pay hash, enter the hash that they just created, search for that hash, and the beautiful part is that it'll have a record here of who's it from, right? Well, this is the amount that's in our account, and it's right here. We can go 0, always start with 0.0035, right? So as long as that's the amount that matches this amount, we would hit pay. Oops, I didn't do it right. See, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it tells you when you did something wrong. I put too many zeros. So there we go, 0.0035. So I hit pay, and it does not have enough balance. Please use a lower value. Okay, so let's see, what am I doing wrong? Oh, that's what it is. I put in here 0.035, but they only have 0.0035. So here's a beautiful example. We come back to plans, and what do? We have 1 day, 23 hours, 20 minutes. Do we wait that long? How do we cancel? There's no cancel button here. Well, I'm going to hit confirm payment. Oh, there's a cancel payment. It's under review. Well, it's never going to get reviewed accurately because nothing was paid. So I'm going to hit cancel payment, cancel payment. Now I can redo this. I can go 0.0035, hit generate hash, double click here, right click copy, come up to financial hash and pay hash, come down into here, enter the hash, which can be done with a Control-V or a right click and paste. And now you click on search hash and it's going to find this payment, and we come down here and we go 0.0035. Now obviously it has a little bit extra, so again, if I wanted to grab it all, I could have written that number down, taken it over there, and I still can if I want. I'm not going to transfer this money right now because she's waiting to help buy somebody in, so she's going to wait till it accrues. So here's where I put the password that you created in your countersign. And the countersign is that place that we were at before. But here we would click on token, and that would send the 6-digit code to the email. Now again, if you type the password in wrong and type in the 6-digit code correctly, or you paste it incorrectly and you hit pay and it says this has failed, well, you're going to have to resend a token. So make sure you delete that email after you've typed it in so that you don't get confused with different emails. And then just retype your password and redo it. So anyways, that's enough for the day for now. I'm sure there's a ton more stuff that we can talk about, but at the end of the day, this is just more information. Have an amazing day. Let's go out and find some winners. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.